Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Monday sold video. This is the things that went out over the weekend. The sold, we had on Friday we had $365 in sales total, gross sales, shipping, fees, everything. Saturday we had $479 in sales, and Sunday we had $103 in sales. Total sales was 20. And we'll get right into it. First thing we got are these Kate Spade glasses. Sell them for the frames. These are Kate Spade Marika FX3. Found these at a local thrift for 30 cents. They sold in 2 days for $40. Next up, we have these Iron Age work boots. Iron Age isn't a great brand to look out for. The only reason why I picked these up is because I got them at the bins. I paid $8 for them by weight, and they're pretty heavy, and they're in brand new condition. So they took 2 weeks to sell for $50. They paid shipping for them. They paid $20 in shipping. Next up, we got, this is a Nike hoodie. It is Cal Berkeley University. It is new with tags. It is hot out, but hoodies still sell year round. Full zip. There's the Cal logo, the Nike swoosh right there. I paid $2 for this, and it sold for $20. Took 4 months to sell. Next up, we've got, this is a Home Depot employee hat. It's camo, got the American flag on there. It's got the Bear Paint logo on there. This took 12 days to sell for $10. My buy cost from the bins was 25 cents. Next up, we got this Lexmark printer ink. Got this at the Goodwill. Paid $4 for it. Took 12 days to sell. Sold for $20. This didn't have an expiration date on it. Most of them do. If it's close to its expiration date or expired by a little bit of time, you can still sell it, note it, but if it's too expired, I wouldn't recommend it. They do eventually dry out, especially in my state, Arizona, super dry, so they don't last quite as long out here. Next up, we have this Rockaware hip-hop skater kind of hat. It's got a camo bill. Camo is really popular right now. This is a wool blend hat. Kind of Y2K area. Wasn't sure if it was vintage or not. Here's the inner tag. So I don't know if it was vintage. If it was, it probably would have sold for more. But I didn't put that in there because I wasn't sure. Anyhow, this took 20 days to sell for $18.88. My buy cost was 25 cents from the bins. Next up, we've got, if I can find it. Here it is. This is a Cabela's fishing shirt or vented shirt, outdoors, lightweight. Cabela's not a great brand. It's an okay brand to pick up if it's cheap and if it's appealing enough. I picked this up because it was a really nice shirt. Very clean. It is their XPG series. I don't know if you can see that, it'll focus. You know, it's got SPF in it, so it's like sun protected. It's a men's extra large. Took 2 days to sell for $20. I paid $3 for it. Up now is a War Tribe gi. Gi is G-I, spelled G-I. It's a jiu-jitsu, judo, martial arts uniform. This is what they look like. They're a real thick material on top. And the pants are definitely like a ripstop kind of material. You can tell that because it'll have the lines in it. There's the patch, the War Tribe. There's lots of different brands of these. Some are better than others, but they're all pretty much universally pretty good when it comes to the jiu-jitsu and the judo type stuff. Not so much the karate stuff because it's a little lower quality, a little bit thinner. Anyhow, I got this from the bins, this suit from the bins. I paid $4 for it. Took 2 weeks to sell for $50. The martial arts gis, the jiu-jitsu, judo gis, they sell pretty quickly for me as long as you price them right. Next up, we have this is, let's see, open it up. This is a pet safe IF20 pet collar. It goes to one of those invisible electric fences. There's the pet safe logo. These do really, really well. You want to note in the description typically that it'll need new batteries. Just put it in there. Even if it doesn't need new batteries, it takes a special battery that you have to buy that actually has the mechanism on there that it's connected to the bolt that bolts on. So like you unscrew it and you put it on there with the battery. So it's a special battery you have to buy through PetSafe. And these things in the pet stores, a replacement for one of these is well over $100. The batteries themselves are like $40, $50. They're pretty expensive. So this I paid $5 for, and it sold for $60. Took 4 days to sell. Next up, we have a polo shirt. Polo does not mean always polo shirt, but this one is a polo shirt. It's got a geometric print, like floral geometric print. It's all like little, I guess just maybe roses. Anyhow, there's your polo tag. That's a more modern tag. And this one took just under 5 months to sell. My buy cost was $5. I paid $5 for this. I typically won it only because of the geometric pattern and the size, the fact that it was an XL, which is a good selling size. And it sold for $20. Let's see, we have a Chicago Cubs Nike t-shirt, just a regular t-shirt. It does have the center swoosh, which means it's in the center, upper center, just under the collar. That helps it sell. It will help it sell even more if it was vintage, which it's not. But I pick up all these kind of like baseball sports t-shirts because they're typically pretty cheap for me, and they're really quick listers for me. I can list them within about 4 to 5 minutes each. So my buy cost on this was $2, and it sold for $15. Took 1 month to sell. Here is actually a really good bolo. You want to look out for the pearl snaps with this. This is actually not a pearl snap. I didn't even know these existed until I found this, and I was super excited when I found it. I found it at the bins, and I really didn't believe it when I saw the tag. I noticed the old kind of worn canvasy material, so I knew it was an older jacket, and it had that 90s purple color. But then I looked over and I saw the tag, and it's a Nike brush popper jacket. Had a spell out on the back, Wrangler, had the brush popper patch on the arm. Super cool. Comps are fantastic. Some of these were selling over $300. This was definitely one of the rare ones, but I did see one other comp at $130. I didn't want to sit on it forever. I wanted to sell it. So somebody sent me an offer for $115, and it sold. It was listed for 19 days. So my buy cost for it was $3. Really cool find. You want to look for the early 2090s, 80s Western pearl snaps, and it's going to be a much thicker. All right, lost you for a second. So it's going to be a much thicker material. Sometimes it'll be double-sided, so you'll see the pattern on the outside, and if you look on the inside, it'll be a completely different color because they're double layered. All right. Up next, we have a Heinz automotive book. This was listed for a very, very long time. I don't really pick these up much anymore. This came out of a storage locker years ago. It's been listed for probably 3 years, and it sold for $9. My buy cost is probably like 25 cents. Some of them are very valuable, just not that one, and it seems like the majority more and more are not becoming as valuable. I don't know, maybe it's because you can find everything on YouTube nowadays. So not as, look them up, but know that there's going to be a lot of them that aren't valuable. All right, this is a how-to drawing book, kind of like, I guess, adult anime drawing book. This came out of a storage locker also. This was sitting in my back stock for years and years and years. I forgot about it, and I just recently listed it. It was listed for 10 days and sold it for $10. Next we have this right here. Goes to a Rydell Rebel Speed football helmet. They just click in. You just pop them right in. They'll have Velcro. They have the size on the back, which this is the jaw part of the helmet. It's a 3/4 inch. That does matter because they come in different thicknesses. This sold for $15 in about 3 weeks. This was kind of lost in a wholesale buy that I bought. I got about, I would say, 500 of these pads all in one lot, and this one must have just got lost somewhere during the processing of all of it, because all of this sold already. And at one point, these pads were selling for $35 a piece, and I had at least 500 of these in particular, and my buy cost on it was about 25 cents a piece. So Rydell football helmets, really they're expensive helmets. New, they're $500, $600, $700. So the pads inside do really well. Even the chin straps, which I got some of those as well, they sell pretty consistently for me. And that's a used pad, it's not new. Next up, we have these Nike Dunk high tops. These are vintage 2004. They kind of look like the retro Jordans, but they're not. They were listed for just under 3 months. My buy cost was $4 at the bins, and they sold for $64. If they were the Jordans, they probably would have sold for more. I put these sneakers through the wash. Yeah, that's a risk of them falling apart, and but I don't put multiple shoes in there or sneakers in there once. I'll make sure there's like towels and stuff in there, and just one pair of shoes at a time, because if they rub against each other, this outer leather or pleather will scratch and tear from the extreme roughness of the tumbling and rubbing together on another pair of shoes. But if they don't survive the wash, then they ain't gonna survive somebody wearing them on their feet. So that's kind of like my motto with sneakers. I'll check them at the bins. You got to really like see if they'll come apart, because they will come off at the bottom sole, especially the older ones, because they get dried out and rotted. But anyhow, test your sneakers, especially at the bins. And my motto is, if they can't survive the wash, then they're not going to survive somebody's feet. So I'm not saying for you to do it. That's what I do. Next up. We have a Titleist Pro V1 golf hat. Really nice hat. Heavy stitch embroidery on the front. They got the Titleist patch on the back. It is mesh, kind of trucker style. Baseball cap. This is another one. It's got the FootJoy emblem, which is a really good selling point, but it for some reason, it took a while to sell. Maybe it was my title. I'm not sure, but I only got 10 bucks for it. I would have assumed I would have got about 25 for this one. Cool colors, really good condition. Got the Titleist patch in the back and the FootJoy patch on the side. If you find the polos like this, you can definitely get 25 to 35 for them. But apparently the hats don't do it as well. This was listed for about 4 months, and I took an offer for $10. My buy cost was $1. Next up, we have a GV2, which is kind of a luxury watch. They're higher end, I think on the lowest end, they're like $300-400. This I found at a thrift store about a week ago for $2, and it's actually just the box. There's no watch. So like I put in the title, the actual, so this is the GV2, which is the model, but Gevril, Gevril. I almost mean Gevril. And I put box display case. So, and it sold in, I probably already said it, but like 10 days to 12 days for $25. So good pickup. There wasn't really any comps for the boxes, but I saw what the watches were selling for, so I assumed I mean, if the used watches are going from 300 to 3,000, then I'm sure I can sell a box for 25 bucks. Two more left. We have a Cutter and Buck. This is organic cotton. I don't recommend Cutter and Buck. This is, I was using a different system at the time where I was kind of like just listing a ton really fast of all the same type of things. My buy cost was really cheap. This is the Cutter and Buck logo. This is their golf line. This is a women's polo. It sold for $10, took 4 months to sell, and they paid $6 shipping. But I don't really recommend Cutter and Buck unless they've got a very, very popular embroidery or something else that's going to upsell it, because it's not a great brand. Nice clothes, but not a great brand. All right, last, this came out of a recent storage locker buy. It was listed for 1 month. This is a Danko, that's the brand. If you find this stuff new, it's pricey stuff. This is a tub faucet trim kit, and my buy cost was less than $1, and it sold for $15. Oh, there you go. That's it. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you watching. I hope you all learned something, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. Bye.